Hey everyone, welcome back to another Good Enough Mom story. My name is Christy Thomas. I run the podcast Keep Calm and Mother On. And these stories take little, tiny, ordinary frustrations and then help us practice with emotional imagination and mindfulness imagination so we can practice how we wish we could respond in some of these sticky moments. Today's story is about a mom named Melissa and her children named Lily and Ethan, and how the rush to get out the door just feels like a ticking time bomb of tension. And so I ask you to take a deep breath. Remember the last time you felt really tense trying to get your kids out the door. And then imagine with me, because you have always been exactly the right good enough mom for your kids. I'm so glad you're here. Let's do this together. Once upon a time, in a cozy little house nestled on a quiet little street, there lived a loving mother named Melissa. Melissa had two wonderful children, Lily and Ethan, who filled her life with joy, adventure, and lots of silliness. And there was also their loyal and furry companion, Max, the family lab. One brisk morning, as the sun peered through the curtains, Melissa found herself caught in a whirlwind of the morning routine. The alarm clock had been accidentally snoozed once too often, and time was slipping away. The children needed to get ready for school, lunches had to be packed, and the clock seemed to be ticking faster and faster and faster and faster with each moment. To make matters more challenging, because this is how life happens, the children were also lost in their own world. They didn't seem to be listening when Melissa lovingly called them for breakfast. And they slowly peeled themselves out of their pajamas and slowly put on their clothes. Melissa's frustration began to brew deep inside of her. And in the midst of that chaos, frustration crept up on her. In the moment, she raised her voice. She slammed her coffee cup down, and her children, startled, they sensed her tension, and their faces reflected confusion and discomfort. And realizing that slamming her coffee cup down and yelling wasn't going to help anyone, Melissa excused herself for a moment. She said, "Kids, I need to go to the bathroom." So she went to the bathroom, and that's when she remembered the mindfulness technique she had just learned thanks to Instagram and TikTok. The technique was called the pause, where she would inhale, moving her arms, exhale. She would inhale and exhale. And that rhythm of her breath started to calm the storm that had been brewing inside of her. She closed her eyes and focused on calming the storm. And she felt the tension melt away. And time seemed to slow down as she returned to the present moment. With her newfound composure, Melissa returned to her children, and she knelt down and got on their eye levels and said, "I'm so sorry for raising my voice, sweethearts. I'm so sorry for startling you by slamming down my coffee cup. Let's take a moment and connect and get ready together. Are you ready for that?" And Lily and Ethan nodded. Their little faces brightened with relief and with love in her heart, but mindfulness and calm with every breath. Melissa and her children started to tackle the actions they needed to get out the door. Lunchboxes were filled, snacks were put in, backpacks were packed with care, and everyone helped each other They said please, and they said thank you, and even when things spilled, they just laughed. But before they stepped out the door, Melissa checked the time one more time. She had an idea. Oh my goodness, we actually have extra time. How about we play a quick game of I Spy? Lily and Ethan's faces lit up. Yes, they chimed in unison. And with giggles and enthusiasm, they took turns spotting objects around the room and calling them out. I spy with my little eyes something neon green. I spy with my little eyes something spooky. The game was a delightful moment in the present moment together. It wasn't a distraction. They were in the present moment, grounded and connected together. And it brought out even more smiles on their faces. And as they finally stepped outside into the morning sunlight, the rush and frustration of how the morning started had totally transformed into laughter and connection. Melissa realized that moments like these were what made motherhood truly special, because she had the ability to choose again. Throughout the day, Melissa's heart swelled with gratitude. She thought of the morning and how they had come together as a family, overcoming the rush and frustration. She remembered the technique called the pause, and how it had shifted her course for the day and how that had spilled over onto her kids. Now, as Melissa lay in her cozy bed, she couldn't help but reflect on the journey of motherhood. She knew that being a mother was not always easy, but she had learned something really valuable today: the power of mindfulness and self-compassion and being present. She was confident that she was exactly the right, good enough mom for her kids. Her children were imperfect, and so was she, and that was fantastic. With a smile on her face, Melissa whispered a silent thank you for the love that filled her home, and she felt grateful for the opportunity to grow alongside her children, teaching them not only about life, but the beauty of patience and understanding, empathy, and love. And as the night faded into sleep, Melissa knew that tomorrow was another chance to create another beautiful moment with her family, full of smiles, laughter, and boundless love, and that she could always choose to breathe. That's right. You can always choose to breathe. So many moments feel like an emergency, but they're not. So put your hand on your heart with me and remind yourself that you have always been exactly the right, good enough mom for your kids. I'm so glad to know you. Thank you for listening to this Good Enough Mom story, and I will see you next week with another one. Bye.